The rain never really stops in Gotham. It just changes form. Sometimes a downpour, sometimes a mist. Sometimes that heavy, suffocating humidity that clings to your skin, like the city itself is trying to remind you it's still there. I've stood on rooftops in that rain more nights than I can count, watching the city breathe below me. The good, the bad, the desperate. All of them think they understand what freedom means. Most of them are wrong. Freedom isn't a gift. It's not something you're handed because you deserve it. I learned that lesson in an alley behind the Monarch Theater when I was 8 years old. 2 shots changed everything. My parents died for $12 and a pearl necklace. The man who killed them, he didn't care about freedom. He was a slave to his own hunger, his own desperation. That's when I understood. Freedom isn't just about what you can do. It's about what you won't allow to be done to others. For years after that night, I thought freedom was about control. If I could control every variable, every outcome, no one would ever hurt me again. So I trained. I studied. I pushed my body and mind further than most thought possible. But control is an illusion. The moment you think you've mastered it, life reminds you how fragile it all really is. I remember the first time I put on the cowl. It wasn't about vengeance anymore. It was about something more dangerous. Responsibility. When you put on a mask, you're making a promise. Not just to yourself, but to every person who can't fight back. You're saying, I will stand where you can't. That's the burden of freedom. It's not yours alone to carry, but if you're strong enough, you carry it anyway. The Joker taught me something about freedom. He thinks it's chaos. He thinks rules are chains, and morality is a joke. He's wrong. True freedom isn't the absence of rules. It's having the strength to live by the right ones. I've looked into his eyes as he's tried to break me, tried to make me cross that line. What he doesn't understand is that my restraint isn't weakness. It's the hardest kind of strength there is. Alfred once asked me why I do this. Not in anger, not in frustration, just curiosity. I didn't have an answer then. Now I do. It's because freedom is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies. Gotham had forgotten how to fight for itself. The criminals had taken over the streets. The corrupt had taken over the system and the people. They'd just accepted it as the way things were. Someone had to remind them it didn't have to be that way. Commissioner Gordon understands this better than most. He could have taken the easy path 100 times over, played the game, kept his head down. But he didn't. Because freedom isn't something you have, it's something you do. Every time he refuses a bribe, every time he stands up to the mayor, every time he looks the other way when the bat signal shines, he's fighting for it too. I've made mistakes. God knows I have. I've trusted the wrong people. I've underestimated my enemies. I've let people die because I wasn't fast enough, wasn't smart enough. But the worst mistake? Thinking I could do it alone. Dick Grayson taught me that. The first Robin. He didn't need me to save him. He needed me to show him how to save himself. That's what real freedom looks like. Not dependence, not control, empowerment. There are nights when I question everything, when the weight of it all feels like it's going to crush me. When I look at Gotham and wonder if any of it matters. That's when I remember why I started. Not for justice, not for vengeance, for hope. The hope that a little boy in Crime Alley tonight won't have to watch his parents die. The hope that a young woman walking home won't have to look over her shoulder. The hope that someday the bat signal will gather dust because it's not needed anymore. But until that day comes, I'll be here, in the shadows, in the rain, fighting for every inch of ground. Because freedom isn't a destination, it's a journey. And it's one we have to keep making, every single day. The dawn is coming. I can see it on the horizon. But the night isn't done with us yet. So we keep fighting. We keep standing. We keep remembering what's worth fighting for. Because that's what freedom really is. The refusal to give up, no matter what, and I never will.